High Score Headquarters proudly presents the Cocky Gamers Podcast, coming to you live from the Kennedy Greenhouse Studio off of the campus of the University of South Carolina, featuring Crystal Cooper, Scott Masterson, and Jalen Dennis. Now, without further ado, let's start our show.
Pokemon Go. It's got some controversy going on.
Gen 3 is finally getting announced?
Gen 3 is actually getting announced. Like, legit though. And
it needs to hurry.
They are doing the Legendary Beast right now. And I was mad because America had Raikou, and I don't like Raikou.
Why?
I love
You had Entei.
Entei was in Asia. Well, what they did is they've rotated where the Legendary Beasts are. So every couple weeks. But you can only get them through the dumb raid battles, and no one does a raid battle.
True. Like, I'm like alone.
Yeah, and it's like I'm alone and I can't beat like a muck, and it's just, but no, so, you know, there may or may not have been alleged meddling by Russia, allegedly, in our election, and they're now saying allegedly Russia may have allegedly meddled in Pokemon Go.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So what happened was, there was a Tumblr blog, and they know this Tumblr blog goes back to their internet research agency, which they found has been putting ads on Facebook and Google and all that, and they were holding a contest to go to like support Black Lives Matter, and they wanted you to go to sites of police brutality and change your username to the victims,
Right.
to try and like inflame racial tensions. But there's no multiplayer.
Right, there's no multiplayer. You have to actually go into the gym.
Right, and I don't think those are, I think when Pokemon, this was at the height of like the Pokemon Go,
Right.
like hype, but
Summer
they started
2016.
taking a lot of gyms from places because like there was a huge issue where they removed the State House Pokemon stops. And Nikki Haley was like, please bring them back. We like having people on our state grounds. So they wouldn't put a stop in a place like that.
Wait, did she actually come out and say?
Yeah, no, she got really upset when Niantic like took them down from the state grounds, because she was like, we enjoy having people walk around our state grounds. Like, we really enjoy having them around the state house. It's nice. So she was like, please bring them back.
I was imagining her with like a backwards cap, like, hello, fellow kids.
Hello, children. But so it just, if they did allegedly do this.
Well, they did allegedly do it.
They did allegedly did it, okay? Allegedly. Can we say it one more? Allegedly.
Does that work the same way
Allegedly.
that don't works, like 3 don'ts equal a do don't?
I don't know. I don't know how many allegedlys make an actual.
We don't allegedly don't know what that means, so.
But it's, so, like.
Allegedly.
Hey kids.
Yes.
Oh God, it's back.
So, incoming message from the big giant head. So I'm looking at the CNN report for this right now. So, one Russian-linked campaign posing as part of the Black Lives Matter movement used Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Tumblr, and Pokemon Go, and even contacted some reporters in an effort to exploit racial tensions and sow discord among Americans, CNN has learned. The campaign titled "Don't Shoot Us" offers new insights into how Russian agents created a broad online ecosystem where divisive political messages were enforced across multiple platforms.
So it sounds like they're just restating what we've kind of already known, what's been happening, but they're just trying to put a Pokemon Go spin on it.
So the more I'm reading, they didn't change your username, they wanted you to change your Pokemon's name. So when they were like getting beat up in a gym.
No way.
It was
Dwayne
like,
The Rock Clefable is not changing his name.
but like, so you would have like a
attention to The Rock.
Pokemon in like another gym named like Eric Garner or like stuff like that, and that's what they were trying to get people to do. And I'm just like, but see, I never heard of that until now, so I don't think their campaign was, that particular campaign of theirs was not very effective.
Those alleged Russian campaign managers are really going to have to get on their alleged campaign
Because it was
enforcers.
linked to a campaign called Do Not Shoot Us, which was mimicking Black Lives Matter. But I'm just like, oh, Russia, you tried.
He tried.
We've gotten away with it if it weren't for
It
that
promised
pesky...
Amazon gift cards to winners. But CNN could not find
How?
evidence that
That's
anyone
not good.
actually participated in the contest. Again, allegedly, because apparently no one's participated in it. Allegedly. But you know how we can't talk politics,
Yeah,
so
It's not alleged, like nobody participated.
and the page had never distributed gift cards. They've been suspended. The YouTube and Tumblrs are active, though the Tumblr page has shifted to post about more political things. But
That's what Tumblr is, that and fan art.
yeah,
And
but
some other
so,
stuff we can't talk about here,
but listen,
Can't talk about here.
back on the topic of
Yeah.
Pokemon Go, though, I hate the raids. I can never, ever find someone to do a raid with me.
Same.
So I'll sit there and well, you know they're timed, and if you don't
Yeah.
beat it in a certain time, you don't get anything. So I'm
No.
sitting there and I've sacrificed all of my Pokemon, and nothing. I've never done it, so I'm not gonna get a Lugia.
Not gonna get a Suicune.
Ho-Ho's not in it, is he?
No, Ho's not in it.
Why is Ho-Ho not in it?
That's what I'm like. I don't know why. I think that's maybe.
But they have Mewtwo in it now. You
I
can
know
get
that.
Mewtwo.
I don't know why they don't have Ho in there.
I don't know, because I love Ho-Ho.
Ho's pretty.
But like, I want a
I prefer
Suicune.
Lugia.
I love Suicune.
That's the only reason why I
That's
wanted
water
like.
type.
Yeah.
That's
That's water type.
Lugia.
But like, let's see. Pokemon Go
Even though it should,
Unknown.
like, it says, like, all of its Pokedex, sorry, rant. Lugia has all of its Pokedex entries, and in the anime and in the games, it's about water.
Gen 3 comes out on Halloween.
Ooh. I
Yep.
wasn't busy that day. And if I still play
Let's
that game,
see.
I'm still gonna get my Kip. My Kip is
We're
big.
getting.
you like Mudkips?
My Kips, yeah.
In regards to
Kip is
legendaries,
big.
Raikou is currently in Asia, Entei is in America, Suicune is in Europe and Africa, blah, 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 blah.
So Australia just has their Kangaskhan?
Mew, Ho-Oh, and Celebi will not be available. They don't know how long it's going to go. They're doing
Why not
something called
Celebi?
X-Raids now.
Why not
X-Raids.
Oho? Because, like, Mew and Celebi are mythics, but, like, Oho is just a legendary.
Yeah.
But he's a really cool legendary.
So is Lugia. He's
I
got
love
wing
Lugia.
he's got wing hands.
Are they like the counterparts of each other?
Yeah,
so like
Silver
they
and Gold.
should.
Oh yeah, and that makes sense because Silver and Gold just released on the virtual shop.
Someone
on
called it
3DS.
Oho.
It's Ho-Oh.
Yeah, I'm reading this article
because
and
it's
he's called
palindromic.
Oho.
Hey kids.
Yes.
Oh god.
So I'm looking at a Eurogamer report right now, and so far we have release dates for Articuno has already been released.
Mm-hmm.
So Articuno's been released, Moltres has been released, Zapdos has been released, Lugia has been released, but Mew, Ho-Oh, and Celebi have not been released yet.
Yeah. And they're probably not going to, from what I'm reading. But Gen 3 is supposed to come out on Halloween. They're doing new raid systems called X-Raids, which will involve Mewtwo. They're still working on player versus player combat and trading.
This needs to be
you
a
know, the
must.
thing we were promised when they first started.
Right.
Man, No Man's Sky really disappointed, huh?
But, you know, with No Man's Sky, at least I don't like it. I think they were not a very good company. I don't like the guy who made it. But they stuck with their game and they've updated it. And they've updated it a lot, and people who are still into No Man's Sky are like, it's actually a pretty good game. Like, it's not what the
it's
hype
decent.
beast created, but it's
Yeah.
pretty good.
Kind of going off of that, Pokemon Go, if they had like secret bases, like that would be awesome though. Because I think No Man's Sky did that, and secret bases were
That'd
the
be
best part
amazing.
of Ruby and
Yeah.
Omega Sapphire. Because, come on, you fight pirates in that game.
Listen, if you could, like, make your own little teams,
That'll be lit.
if you could actually have the gyms, I like what they've redone with the gyms, but I don't like it. The evolution item drops are so low, it's frustrating.
Yeah, I got like.
I've got 2 metal coats, no, 3 metal coats, like 2 upgrades. You can't get a Porygon.
No.
You can get them in Asia, that's it.
Yeah.
Like,
Which is strange because that's the only place that Porygon has ever been seen
I
in the
know.
anime. Because Pikachu had to mess it up.
rest in peace, Porygon. That,
Electric Soldier Porygon.
but that whole
There's so much
that whole
controversy.
theory that Mimikyu's a Porygon is great.
Really?
How? I couldn't even see that.
He only has 1 ghost type move. All of his other moves are normal type. Think about it. Porygon's a normal type Pokemon. He hides, and he says 20 years ago he hadn't been seen in like 20 years,
Mhm.
and he mimics Pikachu. Pikachu in the anime is why we don't see Porygon anymore. Boom.
I don't know.
Sometimes
I like my theory that it's actually
Pokemon
a
theories are
Bidoof.
pretty good.
Do you
I like
think?
my idea.
Do you still think it's Bidoof?
It's a Bidoof. I would
Bidoof.
I would be so mad if it was a Bidoof.
Yeah.
All I want from like the thing that would probably get me to buy Ultra Sun and Moon, nothing. But
Nothing.
if Mimikyu
Oh,
had
cool.
extra,
That'd be
if Mimikyu had other costumes,
That would be cute.
if I could turn it into a
That'd be
Stuffle,
cute.
I would be like, excuse me, it's a Stuffle. Because I already love Stuffle to begin with, but if it was a Mimikyu
Really? I mean,
Stuffle-
Stuffle, like, it's got the tag butt.
I love the tag button. He's
No,
a
it
stuffed
evolves, it
animal.
kills you.
Yeah, it reminds me of Gloomy Bear, which is a Japanese cartoon about a kid who finds a bear cub in the trash can, and the bear grows up and like is constantly like harming him. And the artist from Japan was literally like, the whole moral of the story is do not take wild animals home. They're cute and cuddly, but they're going to hurt you. That's what Stubble is. I feel like his coloration, his like lore behind him reminds me of Gloomy Bear, which is why I like him so much.
Yeah.
But I was also a scene kid on MySpace. So
That could probably be
Yeah.
like,
So what about you, Jalen? What was your favorite Gen 7 Pokemon? There's that.
Is it? Yeah.
I forget about the rooster.
The one that looks like a clown.
The one that looks like a clown. The new Ultra Beast?
Yeah.
The new Ultra Beast?
The one that reminds me of
Yes.
a cake
UV
pop?
Burst.
Yes. Like it looks like it.
It looks like a cake pop to me. I can't take it
Yeah.
seriously. It doesn't look like a clown. It looks like a cake
But it
pop.
looks so cool.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, he does.
I don't like any of the old. I think the Ultra Beast thing was really dumb. I don't like the Ultra Beast.
He's like Fire Ghost, isn't
Yeah.
he? That's lit. That's
A
dope.
Fire Ghost is cool.
Oh yeah,
But-
because Chandeler's too OP.
Exactly.
Chandelier though.
Yes.
Litwick.
Yes.
My favorite Gen 7. It's. Thank you for asking.
Oh yeah.
Excuse you, I wasn't talking about my Ultra Beasts. They're dumb.
Yeah.
This is not Digimon. This
Oh
isn't
my
Digimon.
god.
The dimensional rifts in Pokemon is just too much. They're trying too hard.
Oh, but Mega Evolution wasn't. It's literally Mega.
I hated Mega Evolutions of Pokemon. That made me so mad.
They needed to spice
very
things
rarely
up.
ever utilized my Mega Evolutions because they were so stupid. And
I always
the
got
Z
Ampy to do
moves-
this.
The Z
The
moves
Z
needed to
moves were
stop.
really
that
dumb.
was garbage.
And the fact that like the only way for
But-
you to get the Lycanroc Z is to get Ultra Sun and Moon. I was like, are you kidding me? To get a form that doesn't add anything, it just changes
Okay, yeah,
its
Dusk
color.
form was dumb. Midnight form was my favorite.
Midnight Form was best. But he's still a rock.
Which one,
Rock
Mike?
type. Isn't he like a rock type?
He's
still?
still a rock
they're all
type.
That's dumb.
He's like
Which
rock
type?
fighting though.
No, they're not.
I thought,
They're pure rocks.
They're pure rock types.
Oh, I thought-
that is
Dusk form was really dumb.
terrible. That is a terrible.
Yeah, because it's just midday with Midnight's haircut.
Yeah.
That's legit.
But Midnight is so, like, I love how it's just, like, it's always cackling. And this is supposed to be a werewolf, which I hate.
Yeah,
it's
but like they should at
adorable.
least make like dark rock something. That I
Yeah,
would have been
look at that
fine
one
with
they get
that.
Luxray's dark type.
Oh, he gets a new move called a Celerock.
Yeah, midday version gets that, which is it's a priority rock move, which would be so good on Midnight, but no, Midnight just gets counter.
That's dumb.
Z move unique to Lycanroc. It will make Dusk form Lycanroc even more powerful. Only Dusk form Lycanroc gets
No,
more
it works on
powerful.
all of them.
It specifically says it makes Dusk form more powerful. This is the Pokemon website.
No, but the move is learned by all of them.
Yeah.
So.
But it says specifically it makes Dusk form more powerful. Remember that Dusk form Lycanroc can be obtained by evolving the special Rockruff made by pre-purchasing the game.
Can we talk about how?
Well, no,
they-
it's available. It's like Torchic when X and Y came out. It's
I can
yeah,
see that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, it said it's running from like when it comes out until like January 12th or something like that.
Right, but it's like
Yeah, but that's dumb. That's just there because the anime. It's like Ash Greninja, which, by the way, did anyone ever use that?
No.
I thought they did.
the minute I got
didn't
Ash
bring him over.
Greninja,
I'm like, no.
I stuck him in a box.
Yeah.
It's like
I don't like Ash Greninja. I don't. First of
No.
all, I hate Pikachu with a passion.
I love the new Raichu though.
I do
The new
love the new
Raichu.
Raichu.
Raichu's
See,
cute.
I like
His shiny
Pichu.
is adorable.
I love Raichu. I hate Pikachu.
Why do you hate
He's just
Pikachu?
overdone.
That's exactly
he's
it.
overexposed.
He was way too overexposed, and he's not a very good Pokemon. Raichu is a much better Pokemon, but Ash is like, no, friendship makes Pikachu so much better. No,
It's an anime, of course.
I don't care
They
if it's
should
an
have done that like when they
anime.
went to Gen 3, just switched to May and Brendan.
He threw
Yeah.
Charmander in water. Don't tell me it's about friendship. It's not. It's a bunch of lies. I did really want the Pokemon, like the Pikachus with the different Raichu hats, though. I was
Okay.
like,
Yeah.
okay, kind of
But
want
see-
that.
Hold on, I have a question. Like, not Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon you don't want, but what would you get him if the Pokedex entry stayed creepy?
Well, here's the thing. Sun and Moon made me so mad.
Why?
I sold my 3DS XL with Sun and Moon, with Moon, with Y, and with Alpha Sapphire
Mhm.
Alpha Sapphire lit.
for like $150. I was like, I'm done.
Why?
I don't play the games. They're very boring. Sun and Moon was way too easy.
Yeah.
They were
some
way
of
too
them-
easy.
yeah, they were.
I didn't get knocked out until I hit the Elite Four.
I mean,
It wasn't a fun game. It holds your hand too much, and just Pokemon's just not. It's not what I grew up on.
Oh yeah, like
Because I've-
Incoming message from the big giant head.
Gen
Hello.
You could say that the games have gotten easier because Fire Red ain't no joke.
Oh, nah.
It's not a
No joke.
No. Oh.
Rest in peace. Goku
Oh, how'd the
Goku.
stream go last night?
We got 3 new Pokemans.
So you beat the gym.
We beat the gym and we got 3 new Pokemans.
What level are
Yes.
the twins? Beedrill and Butterfree?
Butterfree was like level 30, I think, and like Beedrill was like a 12.
Dang.
13. I'm sorry, he was
no,
13 because I said 12 and Jim's like, excuse you, it's 13. But like they're
How's chicken wings?
Chicken Wings dead.
dead. When we Misty wiped out everything and left us with a Beedrill and like a Metapod.
Yeah. So who are the 3 new Pokemans?
We got a Diglett, Meowth, and something else.
Alolan Meowth?
I wish. I love why Alolan Meowth looks so fat and so ugly.
Cause like,
No, Persian looks ugly. Meowth is just sassy.
I don't like Meowth.
Yeah,
Still looks a little fat.
Meowth
though.
is kind of
He's
sense.
just a
It's
little
like
darker. He's like,
But like the reason Persian's so fat is because they're basing it off of real Persian cats.
yeah.
And
look.
because of inbreeding, Persians used to actually look similar to like the way the Persian in the original game did, but because we've been inbreeding them so much, they look
Look.
fat and ugly and disgusting, and that's why we have the Alolan.
I mean, I don't like what it looks like, but I love its ability Fur Coat because Furfrou was my favorite Pokemon in X and Y.
See, okay. Xerneas,
I shiny hunted for one.
it was X because I had Xerneas not.
The Yveltal.
I didn't have
Yveltal?
Yveltal.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I love Xerneas. Xerneas is
Yveltal
like
Comrade.
Xerneas is probably one of my favorite legendaries to come out in a while.
It's so pretty.
But I don't like this whole like overinflating with the legendaries. That's obnoxious. Like,
Well, X and Y was good. There was only 3 legendaries.
I know that's why I like X and Y, but then like the Tapu Koku, the Tapus were really dumb. I didn't like the
Yeah.
Tapus. I didn't like.
Tapu, Tapu, Tapu.
And then there had Zygarde was in it.
I never liked
No, wait, he got
Zygarde.
downgraded from a legendary.
He did. And like first of all, the anime lied to me because the little core can talk. And have you like watched the anime where the little core talks? He is squishy. They call him squishy, and he has like a deep, wizened Japanese voice.
Brian, bless it.
And he's like this big, and he's all squishy, and he's all like sassy and like
Bonnie.
deep, and he's like, "Excuse me," and I'm like, but you can't do anything with the cores or the cells.
I mean, that's kind of like Yusuke. Like, his voice is way too deep in the English. Don't you
And
agree?
the
Like,
Sponsorol.
I don't think it's I think it's there.
So,
I mean, it's there, but deep.
What's up?
children.
It is.
Yes, big
So-
giant head.
So we've been going on about this for about 20 minutes. I love the Pokemans. You know me. I like Japanese things.
Do you, giant
Do
head?
you?
I do. But we should probably talk about Facebook and their latest VR headset, the Oculus Go.
So
Oculus Go. Huh.
it's somewhere between the Gear VR because Oculus. I didn't realize Oculus did the Gear VR. So it's somewhere between the Gear VR and the Rift. And it's not as it can't do positional oriented movements like the Rift can.
Okay. Yeah.
But it's got a computer inside of it, so it doesn't use your smartphone. So it's like it gives you more to do, but it can't quite do what a Rift does. And they're hoping that they're going to start moving the market towards mainstream VR. I'm not sure if I'm ready for that because I've played with a Rift. I don't want nothing cheaper. No,
No.
I played with a Vive, not a Rift, because apparently my friend who owned the Vive is a game dev. He specifically works in VR, and he says the Vive is the way to go. Do not mess with Rift. Like, his company solely works with Vive because it's just better, they're easier to, like, develop for and stuff like that. But having experienced, I've played with a Gear, and I've played with a Vive, and the difference is...
Which is better?
The Vive is so much fun. I played, Job Simulator?
A jobs.
Have you seen Job Simulator?
No.
You're a human who works for a robot, and the robot berates you, and he tells you what to do.
So guys.
Yes.
So the Gear VR was actually a joint project between Samsung and Oculus. And the reason why the Vive is so much better than the Gear VR is because the Gear VR is like meant to be used with like a mobile phone.
No, he says the Vive is better than the Rift.
Oh, well, the Rift is older hardware.
Right, but he's coming from a development standpoint. Because he actually, his company works with, my friend, his company only does VR gaming and products. And he says he's played with a Rift and he's played with the Vive. And the Vive is just more user-friendly on every aspect.
There's actually some reports that have come out about you know the people behind Titanfall?
Yes.
They are actually working for a VR title for the new Oculus Go.
So
there's a lot of third-party developers who are really interested in working with them.
that has me so hype. So back in the day when Dave & Buster's was good, they had like a mech kind of VR game where you had to like wait in line to get to it. And 6 people went at a time, and each person went into an individual pod.
Oh, that's. Oh.
And it would shake you around, and you had to like you had a joystick to control your mech, and you had to like flip buttons, and you were inside of this pod, and as you get hit, your screen would start cracking and splintering because you were getting attacked.
Yeah.
I need something like that. Give me good mech games.
So let me just dash your hopes.
Evangelion.
So
Amazing.
what they're working on, the good folks over at, I think it's Respawn.
Let me just look it up. Titan.
Well, I got a question for
So Respawn.
Oh,
So
Void.
the game that they're working on for VR is actually like a board game.
Oh, it's the Rupee board game.
So it's a board game in VR.
A board game in that would be cool for like Tabletop Simulator, which I think Tabletop Simulator actually might be VR.
If it's
ready.
multiplayer, but I got a question. As somebody that has basically no interest in VR, like how long until you think it's like viable up with like the consoles? Or do you think it's like going to be mobile phone and be its own separate entity?
It depends because we already have PlayStation VR.
Mm-hmm.
But that's more of an accessory. I'm talking about like the Vive, the gearboxing.
They're right now they're just too pricey for consumers, and that's why Oculus actually, I think 2 years ago, did a contract with Chuck E. Cheese. So the first people to start getting VR headsets for arcades was actually going to be Chuck E. Cheese. They're starting to make them commercially so arcades can get like the headsets and stuff like that. And I'm just like, that's dope. But like, my friends who have VR sets are like, it's changed the game. Like, it's so much fun. Like, Bethesda is money hungry, but they wouldn't have put so much money into Skyrim and Fallout VR, and I think they're doing a Doom VR if it wasn't a viable market.
Can we talk about Bethesda real quick?
I know that Final Fantasy 15 is coming out with some VR stuff too.
It's just fishing.
Oh.
It's just a fishing game.
Yeah, but could you imagine?
And
like,
you're not Noctis either. You're like a random friend of theirs.
No.
Jay Linnaeus. Jay Linnaeus is your name.
Jay Linnaeus.
Yeah, Tabletop Simulator can be played in VR, which I think is really cool.
Could you imagine doing all those Final Fantasy combat with VR?
That would be amazing.
That would be give so motion sickness.
Let me to answer Scott's question from a minute ago. So the way VR is going to be viable is once the technology has reached a point where it's not clunky and hard to use. Motion controls need to be improved. Basically, a lot of VR games, like the best one that a lot of people like the most is PlayStation VR. Just because it's something you can use just sitting on your couch with a controller. And it's really easy to use compared to, you know, buying like an $800 rig plus a really powerful gaming computer just to run a Vive or a Oculus Rift. So.
Yeah, because you do need to have a computer that can run it.
Right.
You have to have the space, because if your sensors are too close together, it narrows down your playing field. And when we had, my friend has a huge empty living room, and when we had it corner to corner, my movement space was still only like 1.5 feet in front of me and like 3 feet to the side. It's a small space.
Right.
So the closer you put them, the less space you have to move around. So the problem is you need space to have it. You need room, because there are so many Twitch fails where someone's playing on their Vive and they like punch up and they like break their ceiling fan, or they punch a light, or they trip or something. So it's better suited for like an arcade right now.
Yeah, definitely
Well,
better
there
suited for an
actually
arcade.
there is a place in Florida where they are a VR lounge, where they have rooms set up for you to go and play VR games, and they're like Rift games.
We should do that.
Do you want to go down to Florida?
Definitely.
Who's got a car?
not-
Who's got a car that can take us there? 'Cause
So
my car
they-
might get to Florence.
I would like to see VR get better and more affordable, but at the same time, I almost am hoping VR will relaunch the life of an arcade, because Dave & Buster's is depressing now. When I went when I was like 10, this was like I was 10, so that was 15 years ago, okay? Dave & Buster's was an arcade.
Yeah.
You didn't have Candy Crush. You could win a PlayStation from the arcade with your tickets. My grandmother kicked my butt in the Jurassic Park game. And I was really mad because she was better at it than me, and I was like, excuse me, you've never played a video game, stop it. Like, it was that dumb rafting game and stuff like that, but it was an arcade. Now it's Candy Crush. It's...
Have you seen Candy
It's
Crush is a
too-
TV show now on
Yeah, I know.
TBS?
Why?
It's
It's
because...
a game thing.
Because
Candy Crush is what the
fellow
kids like now.
children, even though... Well, and see, here's the thing, though. That's ingenious marketing. Because do you know the largest demographic of mobile games?
Kids.
Women.
Old people.
Women, somewhere between 30 and 40. Do you know who the largest consumer of television is? Women, 30 to 40. So the old ladies are playing like their Candy Crush, and they're the ones watching TV. So why not put what they're constantly playing on their phone on TV?
That is genius marketing.
That is genius. I was just like, well, that's part of why, like, what was it?
That
It
is
was
amazing.
wasn't Chief or Spike. Spike started getting into a lot of issues because women watch TV more than men. Well, Spike was geared towards men. So their viewership started dropping because they weren't inclusive enough to women. And so I'm
Spike
like,
is really sad now.
Spike is really, like, TV is sad now.
Yeah.
Seriously,
it is.
who still has cable?
Old people.
Yeah,
Exactly.
old
My
people.
grandparents. My grandparents still have. My grandmother keeps flipping on whether we're going to get a move to Verizon because she's like, I don't want to move my cell phone. You have to. Your phone is not going to work after next year.
Yeah.
But she's an old lady. But so, VR has potential.
It does.
I'm excited for the Go because I would like it to be, because I've played the phone games and they're just okay. There's some good horror games, but there's still, the problem with VR, especially I've noticed on the phone more than I have on the Vive, is because the phone is right here, it makes the movement and the motion sickness feeling you get worse. It's much more disorienting having the phone like right here versus having the whole headset.
Right.
So when I used to play on Jordan's brother-in-law's VR or gear, it would be like I'd move and I'd be like, oh god. But when I played on my friend's Vive, I'd be like whipping around and I'd be like, this feels so much better. But it's something because the phone is not made for it, so the screen kind of shifts with it, and it doesn't quite work. Because when you have the headset already built in with the screen,
Right.
it's like a fixed point and it's supposed to be shifted, but like on the VR, like
On a phone.
it just doesn't quite work yet. So for the Go, that could be very interesting because not phones doesn't need it, but like, because like the problem with the Vive is you have like a tail that has to connect it to the computer, and I get so scared of tripping over that. Because it has to go from the headset all the way to the computer to like tell it what it's doing.
Right.
So it's really clunky and inefficient right now.
Oh.
But
That's why everyone is super excited about this
Yeah.
Oculus Go, because it is a standalone system.
Yeah.
No computer required.
I'm pretty excited. But see, at the same time,
Facebook.
it's not Facebook. There is at that arcade I was telling you about.
Yeah.
They have plans. If this, did that Kickstarter for the walking thing ever go through?
What's it called?
I don't remember. It went with VR, and when you would walk, it would walk your character. I know I've seen working prototypes of it because they did it with Fallout. But it goes along with VR, where as you would walk, it would walk your character, and if you ran, your character would start running. So like that with the VR. I've seen guns that work with VR.
Oh.
And there's a really, really cool thing that it's a jacket, like it's a little vest that you put on, and as like if you're playing like a first-person shooter and you get hit, you can like feel pressure on like your chest.
So I'm gonna be real.
Okay, I want that.
What's up?
So I'm gonna be real honest with you. Just googling VR motion walking. There are a ton of what they call VR motion platforms. There's like a bunch of different websites, a bunch of different things. Is the Kickstarter you're talking about called Catwalk?
I don't remember what it's called. I've seen the actual working prototype though, because they had it at like, I want to say they had it at E3 when they were first announcing Fallout 4, because they had someone strapped to it walking around Fallout.
Yeah, I think it's this.
Yeah.
It made its 10K goal pretty easily by like 50 grand.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's like this. It's like a big thing with like a platform and like a tower behind it with attachable shoes. So the way that they're showing it is like they're showing it with like a dude in a SWAT suit and a weapon. So it's interesting. I mean, it's kind of, I could see this in an arcade setting. I could not see this in someone's home.
No. And I think that might be where I'm almost hoping that full VR environments like that bring about a rebirth of arcades. Because like I said, that vest, wherever you get shot on the chest or your back, you feel it. And what's cool is if there's something like an explosion or like if you're near a helicopter and the helicopter comes down, you feel that. When you actually can feel it in your chest and it vibrates because in the real world you feel that. So it emulates like the feelings of like getting, like not really getting shot, but you can feel like you got shot. And I'm like, that sounds so fun.
You know, that's just gonna lead. I can't wait until the first court case has this defense. I thought I was still in VR.
I thought I was in VR.
Because the Japanese know about this. I know what games they make, so.
That's been a thing. That's a thing. That's a
so
thing.
excited
Subway
that
grabber,
you said that, my
Hayato.
friend. There is actually a game I really want to play that's on VR, and it is straight up a dating simulator.
Oh God.
It's called Summer Lessons.
No, I've seen that. No, I know what Scott's talking about, and that is not appropriate to talk here.
No.
They have accessories for it.
It's in the future.
Oh, it's already here, my friend.
Oh, I
It's
know what you're
already
talking
here.
about, yeah.
There are already accessories.
Oh.
It's a thing.
Oh my gosh.
Listen, but
Okay, big giant head. What's next?
I just want arcades to be good again.
Right.
Hashtag make arcades
Arcades-
great again.
Yes.
Loot boxes are fractured.
We'll talk about loot box in a second, but like, shout out to my favorite card shop in the world. Because they brought back pinball. They have like a pinball room now, and I waste so much money on pinball. It's...
Shouldn't be doing that.
Speaking of pinball, let's ricochet on over to that
Oh,
next.
that was bad. Oh.
Speaking of gambling,
Speaking of gambling, let's head on over to talking about whether loot boxes are actually gambling. The ESRB doesn't think so.
I don't think so
I
either.
think they are.
well, it's actually interesting because in Europe, the reason, like, going back to Pokemon, this is always going to go back to Pokemon.
Everything leads back
yes.
to Pokemon.
1 degree of separation.
is life.
The governmental ratings boards, because that's how they do it over there in
Yeah.
all of Europe, they decided gambling constituted for a higher rating than Pokemon wanted, because they're, I don't know what it is, but like 7 years old. If they had the gambling, you know, like Mauville,
Yeah.
like it would have been raised to 12. So that's why there's no more
Yeah.
Pokemon or no more gambling in the game, because they changed the rules. So there is
That's
precedent
right,
for
'cause
gambling.
There was gambling in like Goldenrod.
Yep.
Yes.
And when I went back to Goldenrod, there was no gambling, and I was like tilted.
Yeah, the Voltorb flip, that was fun.
So, but like, here's
So
my thing though.
there's a case for actual gambling, which is leading into loot box.
I think loot boxes could be considered gambling. My partner, I don't buy the loot boxes. My partner buys them for me for Overwatch. We've spent like $100 on loot boxes just for me. And
You
what
have a problem.
happens is the loot box drop. Well, they make more. What happens is, for whatever reason, my partner lives in Australia. The currency exchange rate is odd.
Yeah, Australia-
It's 80 cents there. It's 80 cents to our dollar. But when I go and if I put in the information on my Blizzard account,
Yeah.
because I'm in America, it doesn't exchange. So it's actually cheaper for him to buy loot boxes off my computer. Because it's $50, not like $67.
Yeah.
But so what happened is Blizzard messed with the drop rate. So I went through 50 loot boxes. Okay. And I got 5 legendaries.
Is that
They've
good?
actually that's bad.
That
They've
is
actually
bad.
because what happened is they just with the anniversary event they got rid of duplicates. It's very hard to get rid of duplicates. So what was happening is I'd get box after box after box of duplicates, which would exchange for money, but not good money, like 10
You may get
coins.
like 5 or 10
Legendary
coins.
event skins are like 3,000 coins. So I finally got the skins I wanted, but it's if you're a collector, and I can see it as gambling because if you're a collector, you're going to put money into it to get the skins. I know people who have every single skin in Overwatch, and they did not earn them. They bought them. Now, there are people who are like level 600. They, I think, have almost everything, because you get 4 items per box, 600 levels. There's not that many items, because there's like
there's not that
40
many
items. We're close.
There's a lot
No,
of,
no, there is more than that, because everyone has almost 50 items, and there's like 24 characters now.
Oh yeah, because
So
Doomfist was released.
Doomfist was released. We're getting a new character in November. But like, my thing is, CS:GO
Sobra's
ruined
brother
loot
Poncho.
boxes. Because they actually started making CS:GO gambling sites. And they were not transparent that these 2 people who were promoting them on YouTube ran the gambling sites. So what happened is they would actually start exchanging real money for them. I got this item, it's worth $10,000. Money, real money started getting put on the line, and now there's a website, and I lost so much respect for one of my favorite YouTubers because he promotes this site. You can make loot boxes and change the drop rate on them. So people will give him money for his boxes that have like a 50-50 chance. It's 50-50 split on common or epic. And people put money in that, and it's a 50-50 split, but that is gambling. They're putting like hundreds of dollars into his pocket for a 50-50 chance of getting like an epic item in CS:GO. But it's actually now being called gambling. So there is an argument that loot boxes could be gambling, because I don't know, because I think loot boxes are crappy.
Yeah.
I really, really do. I don't like the whole microtransaction thing.
Well, there's a difference between microtransaction. Like Mortal Kombat 10, they could let you buy fatalities, but that was you could do that on that game.
I haven't played a Mortal Kombat game since I was about like this big.
It's so violent. But that
violent.
is different. The microtransactions, you're guaranteed to rip somebody's spine out.
But
this
loot boxes are considered microtransactions, though. They're in the realm of microtransactions. But so think about it. You're paying $1. Okay. With a chance and a small lottery chance of winning things. Let me pull up the Overwatch loot rate, because there have been times I've opened a loot box and it was 4 grays. 4 grays. That's four commons. Like, because it's gray, blue, purple, and gold.
Yeah.
There have been times I've opened 4 grays. There have been times people have opened 4 golds. It is gambling. So,
I mean, it's just like, if you're like trading card games or something like that. Like, say if you were buying like a pack of like trading cards, it's like, oh, I might get this rare. You know, that's still gambling.
Yeah, it
and
is.
Kids get cards.
Yeah, it is. But I don't like kids getting cards.
Yeah.
I knew a kid who spent so much money on Yu-Gi-Oh cards that when he lost to a deck he spent $1,000 on, he cried. Because someone bought a deck off of the shelves of Target and just opened it in front of him and played it off a pre-built deck.
It's so funny that you bring up cards, because
Love Yu-Gi-Oh.
Because when the ESRB was like, yeah, we don't see loot boxes as gambling, they went to the European Commission for it, so they went to PEGI for it.
Peggy, that's what it is. Ha.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, we see it similar to how like you would buy like trading cards.
Yeah.
Where you have a random chance of getting cards, and sometimes you might just get the same cards over again. By the way, did you say the drop rate for loot boxes?
I'm opening it. I'm opening up that article now.
Okay, I'm looking at an article from .esports.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
So, regardless of what region you play Overwatch in, there's a 1 in 5.5 chance to be gifted an epic item. Legendary items have a drop rate of 1 in every 13.5 loot boxes. Roughly that equals out to about 18.19% chance to receive an epic item, and a 7.4 chance of receiving a legendary item. Each box will definitely include 4 items, at least one of which will be a rare item.
But see, here's the thing. Overwatch was going to get banned in China unless they revealed their drop rate, because China considers it gambling. China was requiring them, because of the money exchange for the loot boxes, China required them to reveal their drop rate. Blizzard was hiding the drop rate from everybody until China's like, do you want to lose the Chinese market? And Blizzard's like, no, we don't want to lose the Chinese market. Thank you very much. So China forced Blizzard's hand to reveal the drop rate to everybody. And I can tell you, from having played, it's gotten worse now that duplicates have been removed. And my partner has played so much and has so many, there's actually a point where you end up getting duplicates because he has so many items, he's getting duplicates even though they're guaranteeing no duplicates because they can't. It's getting to the point where he's only got so many left he can get.
Jordan's here.
I know she's being a dumb. So it's just, I would consider it gambling. I honestly would because you're
I mean,
put like the saving grace for Overwatch is you can get loot box. You get loot boxes from leveling up and beating arcade. So every week you get a chance to get 3 free loot boxes on top of your levels. That's its saving grace because but like putting in money for
it's a freemium game.
knives in CS:GO. And the knives, they're only reskins.
Yeah, and that's what kind of a sticking point I've seen people say. If it was just cosmetics, that would be one thing, but like in Star Wars Battlefront 2, I know that's caused a huge controversy because they have loot boxes that have story progression in them. Or
They've actually, I'm glad you brought that up.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So-
people are canceling on mass.
They
I would've
are
definitely
fixing that.
lived.
Surprisingly, EA for once is fixing something.
Wow.
So Boogie 2988, he is adorable and chubby, and I love him. But he is playing Battlefront 2, and they're on the beta right now. And they just put out an update as of 15 hours ago.
Oh.
And they're saying, as a balance goal, we're working towards having the most powerful items in the game only earnable via in-game achievements.
Okay.
They
that's
go on
fair.
to say, crates will include a mix of star cards, outfits, emotes, or victory poses. Players earn crates by completing challenges or other gameplay, or by purchasing them with in-game credits or crystals, which are their premium currency. Okay. If you get a duplicate of a star card in a crate, you will get crafting parts instead, which you can use to upgrade your star card. Cool. And lastly, you have to earn the right to be able to upgrade your star cards and unlock most weapons. You can only upgrade or unlock them if you've reached a high enough rank, which is determined by playing the game. So they've heard everyone's complaints and they're
okay.
changing it.
That's good.
So they're
That is
putting in
good.
cosmetics and star cards to upgrade your star cards. You have to level up in the game. So I'm like, you're going in the right direction for once. EA, I congratulate you.
So while we're
tired of-
talking about gambling, I'm sitting here on that site, .esports,
Uh-huh.
and at the top there is an ad, I am not joking, for fantasy esports.
No. No.
This is
No.
a real
Fantasy
thing.
sports.
Wait, so what? It's esports, but for fantasy
Fantasy.
characters?
No. It's like fantasy football,
But,
but with esports teams.
God.
oh god, that hurts.
I want to do it. I want to do it. Fantasy football got banned in New York.
Why?
It's gambling.
Yeah, it is.
You can't do it. It's been outlawed. And so after that, DraftKings actually had to make a huge update to how they how they do fantasy football and stuff like that because they got banned in New York and they were going to get banned in California.
Yeah.
So they had to rearrange how they were doing it. So yeah, no, I just
Oh yeah, John Oliver did a segment on that like 2 years ago, and like the people that do best on like what's it called, DraftKings?
DraftKings,
I was
yeah.
about to say Draft Dodgers. I'm like, nope, that's not it.
no, not draft
Are
dollars.
the professional gamblers? Cause
Yeah,
like,
they are.
Yeah.
Because they sit and do the math.
Yeah.
We was talking to one guy who straight up had spreadsheets with like win-loss rates and averages and the percentage of each player, and he'd be like, mathematically, this guy's gonna win. And he would sit and do the math behind it, and he would rake in millions of dollars off of DraftKings.
Oh my.
Like I think his biggest pot was like 12 mil off of DraftKings because he sat there and he number crunched, and that's what gambling is.
That's
It's number
tuition.
crunching.
Yeah.
But let me see if I can pull up. I think it was
Gambling.
the
Size Palace? How
leafy
cool is that?
box.
Palace. In Persona?
I
Have you gotten there?
I haven't gotten there yet.
Get to it.
So
I need
it's
to get to
called
it.
csgolive.com, and that's where you can make your own
Uh-huh.
custom crates. And so one of my favorite guys, who I love so much, I love watching him open Pokemon cards and stuff like that, started making his own crates, and to me that's just scummy because people like Leafy do that.
I recommend Simply Unlucky.
So $6, and that's on sale right now, you get to spin it, okay? So we're gonna do a test spin. Oh look, I got a regular one. So one regular, a regular, a regular, a regular, a regular. Like, so this case has a 10% drop for drop. It has a 10% chance of dropping a knife. that gives you $6. You pay $6, and that knife is worth like, the knife itself is worth $84. That's where the gambling aspect comes in, because as you start, especially, it's really bad in CS:GO. What happens is you start gambling for knives. They're starting to trade these knives, which are nothing but cosmetic, for real world money. So I was watching a guy on Twitch Fails who was doing a bet, and he put $50,000 into the like lottery to gamble away his knife, and he lost it. Like, it's a gambling problem. Like, I spend $6 and I have the possibility of getting an $85 knife. How is that any different than paying $1 and possibly winning like $100 off the lottery?
Right.
It's not any different. This case has a knife for $58, $57, $56, $55, 3 cents.
Incoming message from the big giant head.
Hello!
So, we are coming towards the end of our lovely podcast, so if you would be so kind as to give us some information about where they can follow us at and where they can watch us play games.
You can follow us on Twitch at HighScoreHQ, and Twitter at HighScoreHQ, and Twitch at /HighScoreHQ. We're also here thanks to the lovely Kennedy Greenhouse.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's beautiful. I love it in here. Do you want to chill it some more? It's beautiful.
I mean, it's very nice.
It is nice.
It's
There's
seriously
a
like,
fountain
It's
behind
gorgeous.
us.
Look at that. That's fancy.
there's tinted glass.
It looks pretty. Thank you, Greenhouse.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate you, the Kennedy Greenhouse. Thank you, University of South Carolina, for making that possible.
Yes.
Yes.
Chill some more.
Support my Patreon. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but support it.
God.
Find me.
Find me.
But yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Are we
Yeah,
good for this
we're
week?
good.
I'm Chris.
I'm Scott.
I'm Jalen.
Thank you for
What's your
watching
last
Dennis.
Thanks for watching the Cocky Gamers podcast. We won't be here next week because of fall break, right, James? Right, Big Head?
We're not doing it next week.
Fall break. Enjoy it. Be
Yes.
safe. Be safe.
I'll
on
be
your
safe.
break.
I'm playing video games in my room.
Sweet. Thanks so much, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
That was the Cocky Gamers podcast, coming to you from the Kennedy Greenhouse studio off of the University of South Carolina campus. I'm your friendly neighborhood big giant head. You can also find this lovely podcast on the Student Gamecock Television YouTube channel, and you can also find us on SoundCloud at /PodcastHQ. Thanks for watching.